Hey everybody, Jay Weitzner, Symmetry Muscle Health. I want to talk to you about a different perspective today. Let's say you're hurting, you're in pain, and I'm going to use runners today as my example. Let's say you've got some kind of pain somewhere. There's one way to look at that, and that is you identify the spot that hurts, my hip, my back, my calf, my hamstring, whatever, and then you look at that spot and you try to look for the problem, because you assume that the problem must be where you feel the discomfort, the pain, the tightness, whatever. So then you seek out a person who will do something to that spot. Maybe they rub it, maybe they press on it, maybe they foam roll it, maybe they put ice on it, maybe they stick something in it, maybe they rub something on it, whatever. And hey, if that works for you, then awesome. You probably lucked out, but I'm glad it worked for you. If it didn't, which is probably like most of you, we need a new way to look at this. So again, I'm going to kind of look at running and use this example. What I want to talk to you about today is the idea that our bodies need to communicate within itself very effectively. It has to share and integrate information throughout its entire thing at every moment. So think about this. When I'm running, right? Let's say I'm running. Let's look at the push-off part. When I push off, what's involved with the push-off? There's like this foot pointing, right? There's the knee getting straight. There's the leg going backwards. And there's so much going on right there alone. There's muscles at the toes that need to work, at the ankles, at the knees, at the hips. There's muscles that cross the toes that also cross the ankles. There's some muscles that do cross the toes that don't cross the ankles. Some muscles that cross the ankles across the knee, some that don't. Some that cross the knee and the hip, some that just cross one and not the other. And by the way, that's on the front and the back. So all those muscles need to fire, work, whatever. They need to work well, but they also need to coordinate with all the other muscles. Imagine if something worked, but slightly sooner or later than it should have. I don't know how efficient we're going to be, right? And that's just there. Listen, when this leg's doing this, push, right, the arm's going the other way. So all that stuff has to happen here too. And then they have to communicate with each other as well. And then we've got the other side, right? All that stuff has to work, and that has to communicate with the other side, because we get this oppositeness. And that's just this front to back thing, right? We're running, there's also some rotation going on. So all that stuff from the spine, the neck, everything, each individual segment or part needs to work well, and it needs to communicate with every other part in real time and work well. This is information. This is from the body's perspective. This is all information. Everything needs to know what else is happening at every moment, and everything needs to work well. So let me ask you this. What would happen if the information flow was messed up? It was goofy. There was a glitch. Something wasn't right. Maybe it would still look the same. Maybe it would still run. But might it cost more from the body's perspective? Might it be greater effort? Might things not work so well? And let me ask you this. When something doesn't work well in the body, how do we generally feel? This is simple, right? When something in your body doesn't work well, how do you feel? Whether that's like you got a cold, so now something's going on, or whatever, you got punched in the shoulder. When something doesn't work well, how do you feel? You usually don't feel good. Here's the next question. When you're not feeling good, how do you move? You normally don't move very well either, right? Because this movement and feeling thing is connected. So we're linking three things here, right, today. Information flow, movement, and feeling. If the information flow throughout a body, whether you're running, swinging a thing, throwing a thing, carrying a thing, lifting a thing, whatever it is you're doing, your whole body needs to work in real time every single moment. If that information flow is off a little bit, things aren't working quite right, you may not be moving very well. And if you don't move well, chances are you won't feel well. So instead of going to the spot that doesn't feel well, we may need to look at the entire system and start looking at the information flow within the system and asking, is it working well? Is the entire body moving the way it's supposed to move? And that's the question that me and my colleagues are asking as muscle system specialists. And we're looking at this in an entirely whole body integrated approach. Because check this out. Let's just say that the coordination, the communication, the information flow was amiss in the body, you can pick what you want. If you want to say the arm going backwards, information was not connected well with the leg going forward, whatever. You can say the elbow information with the shoulder, whatever. If any of the information flow is off, we're not going to be as effective, right, or as efficient, or perform as well. So we may not. It may be more effortless. Things may not be working well. Might that affect our overall performance, how we feel when we do something? So let me ask you this. If the information flow is off somewhere, and we're not moving as well, and we don't feel as well, where might I hurt? Must I hurt in the one spot where the information flow isn't working well? And here's something for you. If the information flow isn't working well, let's say in the elbow, or between the elbow and the shoulder, is that information flow confined to the elbow and shoulder, or does it go to the brain and then back? And do we have muscles that cross the elbow, that cross the shoulder, and some of those muscles that attach to something in the shoulder also attach to the neck? So is the information flow from the elbow and the shoulder confined here, or is it in the brain and to the neck? Because some of that stuff attaches to, which also attaches to something else, which attaches to something else. Oh my God, everything's attached. Everything's communicating. If the information flow is off in one spot, where am I going to hurt? I don't know either. And this is one of the main reasons why focusing purely on where you hurt can be very limiting and often doesn't work. So if you're not moving well and you're not feeling well and you can't use your body the way you want and nothing else you're trying is working, call me. I'm happy to have a consult with you and discuss things a little bit, and then we can move forward, do an evaluation, and let's see where we are. Let's see if we can get your body back.